When things stop working the way they once did, whether in life or in organizations, the first instinct is often to look for a single mistake or sudden failure. But most of the time, breakdowns are not caused by one dramatic moment. They are the result of gradual shifts that go unnoticed until the impact becomes impossible to ignore. The story of this ministry's financial change is not about scandal or collapse. It is about understanding patterns, pressure, and sustainability. By examining what changed beneath the surface, we can better understand not just this situation, but how any system, personal or organizational, can begin to lose momentum, a system that once worked. For many years, the ministry operated with a clear and effective model. The structure was simple but powerful. Create meaningful teaching, distribute it widely, receive support from those impacted, and reinvest that support into reaching more people. This cycle created consistent growth. Television programs expanded reach into households globally, while radio added another layer of accessibility. Conferences brought people together physically, strengthening connection and loyalty. Books extended influence even further, allowing teachings to travel beyond events and broadcasts. Together, these elements formed a self-sustaining system that reinforced itself over time, the donation flywheel effect. What made this system particularly strong was what analysts often call a donation flywheel. Content attracted viewers. Viewers became supporters. Supporters funded more content. As this cycle repeated, it gained momentum. By 2021, the ministry appeared financially stable and thriving. Annual revenue exceeded $113 million, while expenses remained lower, resulting in a surplus of around $15 million. Net assets continued to grow, surpassing $75 million. Multiple revenue streams, monthly donors, event income, and resource sales created diversification. At the same time, outreach programs expanded globally, reinforcing trust and purpose among supporters. Early signs of slowdown. However, strong systems rarely fail suddenly. They begin to slow down first. In this case, the early signs were subtle. Programs continued airing. Conferences still attracted audiences. Donations did not disappear overnight. But beneath the surface, small pressures were building. These pressures did not seem alarming individually, which made them easy to overlook. Yet collectively, they began to affect the system's momentum. Like any machine dependent on continuous motion, even a slight reduction in speed can eventually impact the entire structure. The post-pandemic shift, one of the most significant changes, came after the pandemic period. During 2020 and 2021, many nonprofits experienced a temporary increase in donations. People spent more time at home, engaged more with online content, and often felt a stronger urge to give during uncertain times. However, as normal life resumed, this surge began to stabilize. Donations across the sector started to level off. What had appeared to be sustained growth was, in part, a temporary spike. When that spike faded, organizations were left adjusting to a new financial reality: rising operational costs. At the same time, the cost of maintaining large operations increased. Running a global ministry involves significant fixed expenses. Production costs rose, travel became more expensive, broadcasting distribution required greater investment. Staffing and operational needs remained constant. These costs do not easily decrease, even when income slows. This created a growing imbalance. When revenue stabilizes or declines while expenses continue to rise, financial pressure builds gradually. Over time, even a well-funded system can begin to feel the strain. Changing media consumption. Another major shift occurred in the media landscape. Television, once a dominant platform for outreach, has been steadily declining in influence. Traditional scheduled programming no longer attracts the same audiences, especially younger viewers. Instead, people now consume content through digital platforms, short videos, podcasts, and social media feeds. While these platforms offer massive reach, they do not convert audiences into long-term supporters as effectively as traditional media once did. This change weakened one of the ministry's core engines for engagement and financial support: generational differences in giving. In addition to media changes, the donor base itself began to evolve. Longtime supporters, many of whom had been giving consistently for decades, were aging. Meanwhile, younger generations approach giving differently. They are less likely to commit to recurring donations and more inclined toward one-time contributions or cause-specific campaigns. This shift altered the predictability of income. A system built on steady recurring support began to encounter variability. Over time, this reduced the reliability of the financial foundation that had once supported growth. The financial turning point. Eventually, these combined pressures became visible in the financial reports. Revenue dropped to just over $104 million, while expenses rose above $122 million. This created a deficit of nearly $18 million in a single year. Compared to the $15 million surplus just 2 years earlier, this represented a swing of more than $30 million. Such a shift is significant. It signals not just a bad year, but a deeper change in how the system is functioning. Financial trends like this often reflect structural challenges rather than temporary setbacks, declining reserves and safety nets. The impact of this shift extended beyond annual figures. Net assets declined from approximately $77 million to under $60 million. This reduction indicated that the organization had begun using its reserves to fund ongoing operations. Additionally, about $15 million was withdrawn from endowment funds, reducing long-term financial security. While this does not mean immediate danger, it highlights a critical transition. Reserves are meant to provide stability during difficult periods. When they are used to sustain regular operations, the margin for future challenges becomes smaller. Structural pressures beneath the surface. The deficit itself is not the root issue. It is a signal. Beneath it lie structural pressures that have been building over time. Fixed costs remain high, limiting flexibility. Audience behavior continues to shift toward digital platforms. Donor patterns are becoming less predictable. Each of these factors alone might be manageable. Together, they create a complex challenge. Systems designed for one environment often struggle when that environment changes. Without adaptation, even strong organizations can find themselves under increasing pressure. Lessons beyond the numbers. This situation offers insights that extend beyond financial reports. It reflects a broader principle. Sustainability depends on adaptability. Whether in organizations or personal life, success in one season does not guarantee stability in the next. External conditions change. Habits and behaviors evolve. What once worked efficiently may no longer produce the same results. Recognizing early signs of change and responding to them is essential. Ignoring them allows small issues to grow into larger challenges over time. Conclusion. In the end, this is not a story of failure, but of transition. The ministry continues to operate, serve, and reach people. However, the numbers reveal a shift that cannot be ignored. The question is no longer about growth alone, but about sustainability in a changing world. The same lesson applies on a personal level. When things stop working, the answer is rarely to push harder in the same direction. Instead, it is to step back, examine the system, and understand what has changed. Because often, the real issue is not the visible problem, it is the structure beneath it.